Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next episode review of My Dress Up Darling, episode 2, overall episode 14. I gotta stop doing that, guys. We know it's episode 2 of the section. I'll just go continuing with the overall episodes, because otherwise it's be too confusing, though. But episode 14 of My Dress Up Darling, it shows like how these two of Gojo and Mara, they just work so well together. I mean, after in karaoke, like Noah say, hey, Mara and Gojo, are you both dating, right? And Gojo just spits out his drink through his costume, right? So, and saying that they're not though, but it's like in the back of Marin's mind, I was like, are we, or are we not? It's just that does get her a little bit flustered on that. Just we see her sitting on the corner holding the bunny mask, right? It's like it does get her flustered just a little bit because like, are we dating or not though? I know they're friends, but and then afterwards, Gojo sees two guys with Marin, which he doesn't hear though. He assumes they're just hitting on her, right? And so he steps in, say hey, right, and he starts spewing stuff like. Well, first he thought it was the guy was referring like Gojo saying it to him. Right? I was like, oh, wait, what? Dating? What? But it turns out that it's a misunderstanding. That these guys are from Marin's beauty parlor, right? So it's like, oh, hey, your hair is all split ends. You're not doing it. You're not curling it or straightening it out the proper way. So but it goes to show that he says, oh, he can be more than just a friend, right? He can steps in and just protect Marin, right? So he was man enough to do that. So that gives kudos for Gojo, right? He has that tenacity to do that, right? To step in like a man and protect the girl that he likes, right? Even though he says they're not dating, though. And then afterwards, like, Marin catches a bad cold, a bad fever. She's sick, so he goes over to her house and carries her and changes her. And he goes into her laundry basket. Like, first, he pulls out a shirt that has what that character that Marin's likes so much, just falls on the shirt. So he finds another shirt and he helps her out tremendously. And like he makes her like porridge and feeding it to her. And I'm like sitting there, while she's sick in her bed in her room is filled with her favorite characters, just like oh yeah, because how much of a fan she is of that character. And so she's like, well, I never been fed like this before. So when she started to feel a bit better, but then her other friends are coming over, right? And Gojo doesn't want to be seen there with her, especially it's like if the girls see there in her house, right? They in his mind they think that, oh, we are dating, right? So he goes and hides in the balcony because since she lives in a high rise, right? It's cold outside, so I was sitting on the balcony. So he's like, when he catch himself sick, before no one sees him. It's like it shows. It just shows the chemistry between Wakana Gojo and Marin Kitagawa. That these two they work so well together. Their chemistry is like, it's like yin and yang, right? And it's like shows like these two are meant to be together. It was very. I just enjoyed the chemistry they have with each other. And then afterwards, like this next cosplay event, right? And they come across this girl named Himeno, and first they need help with finding like this hook that holds her skirt up. And so they want to like first Shiju's Shiju Su's an older sister for the first season, right? She pops in, she looks at her, she cut her hair. She pops in just for like about 30 seconds. But then afterwards with Himeno, it's like, hey, want to help sew this, right? I got a sewing kit right here. We can do it in the we can go into the we want to do it in the women's room, but Gojo doesn't want to go in there because it's the women's bathroom, right? And then it's like, well, why don't we do it in the men's room? And then Himeno goes and says, well, it's okay, I'm a guy. they're both reactions, which that fooled me, you know. That just completely fooled me. So, oh wow. So it's a guy dressed in girls cosplay, huh? I mean, that just completely fooled me. Their reactions is like, what? Especially Gojo. And how, well, I guess it's like a guy who's, is this, you know, like, a guy can dress up like a girl. It's like, how, well, like, well, to me personally, in real life, you wouldn't catch me dead and wearing girls cosplay, never. But there, I do have seen a couple guys wear girls outfits for cosplay though, but you would pay me a shitload of money. You would. But back in my mind, I was like, I would never do that anyway. Even for as like one of my favorite female characters, I wouldn't. No. But it takes. But I would say the guy has got guts, you know, to dress up like a girl like that. It's like the guy is like he's acting like a real guy, being a best girl, basically. You know, it takes guts. The guy's got balls, basically. He's got a lot of balls to dress up like a girl. Well, if it's for like one of your favorite characters, yeah, you should, you know. And so and Gojo's been like on this thing, but what's that glue in his carry-on bag or purse? You say, and it's like wet. It's like water glue. I guess it's a way to like, make the hair stick to your face in a certain way. And he's like just casually applying onto himself. So, and then they notice that in one picture is like, well, that he has like, which seems realistic, boobs on him. But it's like you can that you can equip boobs. It's not digitally added in the picture. It's you can buy fake ones for the costume, and it's like, what do you want? It's like, you want to see, and Mary's like, oh, I love to see it, which is quite funny though. Now I think about it, it is quite funny because, well, yeah, it's not for younger children though, but it's just funny. Like, oh, it's like the guy, this guy has cosplay and he has fake boobs, right? You could equip, which I didn't know that was a thing, but the more I think about it, it just reminds me of that controversy from Pokemon, right? You know, that banned episode where James is in disguise, where he has like fake boobs, right? The ground, he said he's wearing a disguise. It's like an inflatable bodysuit though, but still, you know, much of the controversy that caused, right? And that episode it was forever banned, much like the Porygon episode, because of the whole flashes that causes many kids that has like, you know, seizures and stuff, right? So those two forever banned, which you'll never find anywhere. Which makes me wonder, how does Watch Mojo get a hold of that footage? You know, if it's banned and not shown anywhere. I just don't get that though. I guess they're to a top tier channel, so they can pretty much get anything, even banned footage, I would say. But it just makes me wonder how they get those footages. But you can see it though. It just reminds me because how much of a controversy that caused, because a guy wearing big boobs though, even though it was for a disguise though, but that caused a lot of outrage, and that episode was forever banned. But it just reminded me because a guy, you see that he's wearing the fake boobs, right? It's like you can come equipped with them. So, but yeah, but now they want to see how it works though. So, and Marion's like, oh, let me see. But anyway, it's still a great episode regardless. So, I mean, the Himeno, as a guy dressed in girls cosplay, fooled me definitely, because he definitely looked a lot like, his face looked like a girl though. But it's like, oh wait, I'm a dude. Well, it just reminded me of Haska, from the girl from Call of the Night, right? Which you thought he was a girl, but turns out he's a guy. He just the way he dresses and his hair looks, you know. But it turns out he's a guy. It's like with Haska from Call of the Night, which I did previously. I talked about, okay, you know, like in the last episode of Call of the Night where they all went into the bath, right? And he's, you know, running in the bath with the other guy, with Myru, Akun, you know, Mr. Drago, or and Ko, right? And he's like, "What? I saw body parts. He's a guy." So, yeah, just like that, right? But yeah, but anyway, regardless, so it's like you know, also with Gojo running with that he's a guy in girl's outfit. It just reminded me like how that old guy from the previous episode, how he just mind just opened up, the old guy at the store where they're getting like the necessities to make the next dress, the next costume, and the guy's like, oh, well, I mean, there's a lot more to it than this than I thought. Maybe even guys can dress up as girls. It just instantly reminded of that guy the last episode of this. And it's like Gojo, it's like his mind is like when he first said, oh, I'm a guy. I'm wondering in the back of his, I was like, well, I guess anybody can dress up as anybody. Even guys can dress up as girls. I mean, didn't he first see that when, in the very first season, when he went to that first cosplay event, he saw a couple of guys dress up as girls? I guess I must have forgot about that but it is here just like, I guess he first saw it recognized it as a girl, but when he said I'm a dude, so I guess that means like, oh, I guess anybody could dress up as anybody, I guess. But yeah, so episode 14, I really enjoyed it. It's like once again shows how much the chemistry of Marin and Gojo have with each other is great, and Gojo trying to stepping in for Marin, even though it was a misunderstanding, shows he has the tenacity to protect Marin if he wants to, but he gets the wrong idea though. And with Marin, was the whole thing the top about, oh, is she dating? Are they friends though? But are we or not though? I get that later on that maybe she's the one she's gonna confess to. Hey, I'm the one. Gojo, I'm in love with you. Because usually the guy who says that I'm the one who confesses to the girl, but this time, I may have the feeling maybe Marin is one who says it though. We'll see though. But regardless, episode 14 was great. You know, I loved it. So, but thanks for watching, and also just like, hey, for Himeno, best guy girl you can say, you know. But yeah, but thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode review, and we'll see you next time. Later.